The ancient world is full of great mysteries, and we seem to only be scratching the surface of our past. With these recent discoveries, it's uncertain we know much about our ancestors and what they were capable of. It's enough to make us think aliens were possibly involved with the making of these creations. We are in the most technologically advanced time in history, and yet these inventions I'm about to show you are enough to get even scientists to scratch their heads. Let's take a look at the most mysterious creations made by ancient civilizations, found by modern day humans. Number 1. Baghdad batteries. This might as well change everything we know about our past. It was in 1938 where a German archaeologist found a 5-inch long clay jar. This pot-like object was found near Baghdad in Iraq. At first, scientists thought it was just an ancient pot used for whatever reason. However, after looking through it a bit more, they've discovered something remarkable. The jars contained a copper cylinder that encased an iron rod. There were also tests done and came back with evidence that an acidic agent had been present. This means these pots could produce electric currents. The big mystery about it, though, was that apparently it was made 2,000 years ago, before history suggests electricity was discovered. It is also believed to be created by the Parthian Empire, and somehow they knew about electricity. This mystery is yet to be solved. Number 2. Zhang Heng's earthquake detector. This invention was made by Zhang Heng in approximately 132 AD in ancient China. This was called a seismoscope. This object was about 6 feet tall and resembled a bronze urn with tubes shaped as dragons. It was surrounded by 4 bronze toads. The way this invention worked was that if there was a sign or movement of an earthquake, a ball would fall out of one of the dragon's tubes' mouths and fall into one of the frog's mouths. This would then make a very loud noise, serving as a warning alarm for the civilization. This invention was tested on real-life earthquakes in China and Vietnam in 2005. The test came back unremarkably accurate, and to this day, scientists are still baffled as to how this was created. Number 3. Mysterious black boxes. A cave system was discovered 12 miles away from the Great Pyramid of Giza. Inside, 24 strange black boxes were found in the system. The caves were found in a sacred temple found by a French archaeologist, Auguste Mariette, in 1850. It is over 3,000 years old. They all weighed about 100 tons each, and they were so strange that many had theorized that these were creations of aliens. However, once you look inside them, you would be surprised what was inside. Inside these unusual boxes were actually dead and mummified bulls. At first it was confusing, but then it started to come together. Ancient Egyptians used to worship animals very much and praise them, and it is theorized that they built these burial grounds as part of respect to these bulls. Still, it's creepy. Number 4. Quimbaya Plains. Seem to have been made around 1000 BC to 1000 AD and made by the Quimbaya civilization. These plains have been a very big mystery. The designs on this plain are relatively advanced, and while they might not have been real planes and just artifacts, these designs were tested in 1994 by 2 aircraft engineers, Peter Belting and Conrad Lubbers, and they worked efficiently. This leads us to the question, how did this ancient civilization figure out designs that would actually be lifted into the air? Was it just some random model, or was it something they already knew? Number 5. The first real piece of gold. In central Bulgaria, archaeologists were digging up a site when they ran into a strange item. It was a tiny golden bead, only 1/8 of an inch across. This object was later dated to be from about 4,500 to 4,600 BC. This is by far the oldest piece of processed gold ever discovered on Earth. It is said that the ancient civilization surrounding the gold bead was relatively advanced, and while they still haven't discovered what it is, There have been other animal artifacts found as well, which are believed to have been used for rituals. This discovery has led archaeologists to believe that there might have been a lot more out there that they may have not found out about. Number 6. Iron Age cauldrons. In England, archaeologists were digging when they came across 11 old metal artifacts. These were cauldrons. The mystery is that they were very well intact and they were from the Iron Age. The quality of how they had been made and how well they held over time was also a great surprise. This leads people to believe that the site they had been found in was a place for rituals and events for an ancient civilization. Number 7. Iron Pillar of Delhi. An iron pillar stands tall in Delhi, India, after being discovered and is believed to have been made by ancient India about 1,600 years ago. It stands approximately 24 feet tall. It weighs over 6 tons and is 98% made out of wrought iron. The most mysterious thing about this thing is that it has no signs of any rusting of any sort. This has minds baffled, wondering how this ancient civilization could have possibly made it so that it wouldn't rust. There is some ancient text on this pillar, and while most of it is hard to translate, there is still one word that stands out. Chandra was written. This means that the pillar was possibly made during the rule of Chandragupta, who was an Indian ruler. Number 8. Damascus steel. This type was first discovered around 300 BC by the Persian Empire. However, remaining traces of how the steel was made were lost. This steel was incredibly powerful and seemed to be unbreakable. It is said that it could bend 90 degrees and was also very dangerous and was used to make Viking weapons and others too. It is very famous for its beautiful designs on the steel. Scientists have been trying to replicate the steel for years, but they still haven't. We only know somewhat of how the steel was so strong through modern-day advanced scanning electron microscopes. This is just a glimpse, and to this day we are still trying to figure out how it was made. Number 9. The Great Pyramid of Giza. Now this is a pretty famous pyramid made by ancient Egypt, and scientists are still disagreeing on what happened and how it was built, and what purpose it was for. It was once the largest man-made building in the world. Different tunnels have been found, different theories have been made, but Egypt has been quite hesitant to let us explore deeper into the pyramids. There was a time where people had discovered a hidden tunnel leading to some void inside the pyramid, but Egypt had forbidden them to look closer inside. To this day, we are still trying to figure out the big mystery behind the Great Pyramid of Giza. And last but not least, number 10, the Antikythera mechanism. Divers discovered a bronze device at the bottom of the Aegean Sea in a Roman shipwreck. This device was made out of complex mechanical gears with mysterious engravings. It is believed it was created around 250 and 100 BC. However, what makes this device so baffling is that the technology was so advanced, anything that was close to similar with this thing was not discovered for another 1,000 years. Scientists believe it was basically the oldest computer made by Greek, used as a lunar calendar and predicting where planets and stars would go next. The thing is though, this device was made before us humans even had any knowledge at all about the planets or even gravity. That is, so we thought.